And I'm a technologist who specializes in organizational design and psychology, which I am actually currently expressing through, I'll get to that, what I'm doing here. And here's a little bit about my career. If you ever come to me for career advice, I do get the irony of someone whose career looks like this, giving you career advice. But yeah, I was CTO at Shadi.com, then CTO at InVideo.io, and I'd love to tell you that I did this, but the more closely I look at my career, the more I realize that all of this has happened because of the people around me. And in general, and specifically this Ruby community, and this is my first time at GopherCon, but I've been coming to RubyCon for 10 plus years, 15, 14 years, whatever. And I see at every RubyCon these same people. Gautam? These same people, Gautam, Sidhu, Ajay, and the kind of work that they do, it is truly, truly remarkable. So that's the reason I became a community sponsor, is because this community has given me a lot, man. And the work that you do is phenomenal. So as it turns out, like, I'm one of the few nerds who loves the people side of tech. If you see my talks, they're always about like, management is cool. Why are you guys not more interested in doing this, and so on. And the more I took a sabbatical last year, and I just spent a lot of time talking to a lot of people. And the more I look at it, the more I realize that there is a glaring gap in the market, which is that nobody wants to really focus on the people side of tech. Engineers don't want to focus on the people side of tech. And all of us know that recruiting is broken, but no engineer wants to focus on the people side of tech, except me. And I hope more of you will join me on this side. I do that through a number of things. I write a newsletter on engineering management. I think you can't see this thing, but if you scan the QR code, you'll get an 80% discount on the whatever premium subscription. There's still a lot of free stuff. You can definitely check it out. I also run a Discord community. Anyone here from the Discord? Woo! Okay, brace for impact. If you scan that, you'll land on the Discord community. I look forward to welcoming you all there. It's a forum where people ask about, of course, technical stuff, but also career stuff, and essentially it's a forum for mentorship. And kya ho gaya? Oh, sorry, wrong button. And the last thing I do, or actually the main thing that I do, is I help connect all the nice nerds with all the nice nerds. I think one of the main inflection points in your careers is going to be when you find that right mentor who will unlock a new level of performance and skill in you. And it is my mission to take you and introduce you to this mentor of yours, whoever he might be. I'm not really looking for new clients at the moment, but I'm always looking for great candidates and people who want to help people unlock their full potential in life. So if you scan that, you'll end up on my recruiting website, and let's see where we go from there. That's all I have to say. Thank you and enjoy the conference.
Okay, this is like pure beauty, and let's see what he says.
Wait a second. See, here you are saying it's very short. I agree it's short, but not always short does the performance, right? So let me show you my large code, but I'll guarantee you this, that it will perform good. So you can see here, I'm using an interface and simple type switch. Now tell me honestly, how many of you have done this? I see many hands. Now honestly tell how many of you have looked at generics in a way that it can replace this. Okay, for those who have raised the hands, I have something interesting for you. See this slide? This slide, I have done a benchmark on what he has shown, the short one with the long one which I had, Basically, it is 300 times faster the traditional way, except floats, which, okay, fine, exceptions are there. But other than that, we have done 1,000 million requests or uh, data set, and we have got, this is the benchmark that we have got. And now you still agree that you really want to look into generics? Yes? Okay, let's take a vote. Say T when if you are agreeing the traditional way. Let me hear it. Okay.
Let's raise Y's for generics, guys. Simple. You have seen the code. It handles so much, and it's maintainable. It's basically, it's like less code, less debug, less bugs.
Okay.
Let's
So-
raise your Y's for generics.
I don't think they are interested. So I think this.
How is the Josh, guys?
This,
Come on, it's modern. Don't be saying
you
Stone Age.
You cannot cheat in this. So this, let's say, type switch wins.
Okay, looks like production wins here. Production is look for performance, but
Right. So now, coming to the next round, I just want you to honestly tell each of you, what do you expect to be in a production code? What all the main important stuff that you expect? Anyone? What do you expect from production code? Flexibility? Performance? Readability? Control? Do you want control? So I would call it channels, the GOAT. Channels here, this is a pipeline processing example where I'm using channels to process some data. I have not written the entire code. I have just given some pseudocode that I know you are gophers. You can understand what I'm trying to say here. So I have 4 channels, except just ignore the resultant channel. We have 3 main channels, processing for each Go routine, processing each data. We can add timeouts, we can add error handling, you name it. You want monitoring, it's done. Whatever you want, it can be done with explicit control of each channels or each Go routines as you want. You are the developers, you have the control. Now tell me, how can you beat this?
okay. So as we can see, like 3 Go routines, 4 channels, and what we're doing here, it's basically chaining operation. Chaining operation is like simple, like we are passing the first log we get, or basically the data, whatever you want to like, and the result of that will be passed to next, and it's like staging, like a chain, okay? And for this, yeah, obviously, like shiny thing here looks like Go routines, green threads, wow. But see, still it's going to use your resources, like 3 Go routines, channels, so many complicated things. Let me introduce a new feature that has been come in 23. Previously it was there, but in standard availability, it's in 123. Those are iterators. Let's look into this. Okay, so we are doing the same chaining operation here. Do you guys see anywhere a channel here or a Go routine here? But still the output and outcome of this entire thing is going to be chained. If you can look into this, so basically we have 3 iterator functions. Some of you already tried. What are those iterators? Those are like just a callback functions that passes to each other. And with the iterators, we are not dealing with the entire slice, okay? So it's basically burden to the memory. If you have a large data volume coming in and you want to do a lazy evaluation and early terminations. But we'll look into this, how the iterator works, who have not yet tried it.
Hey, wait a second. I see 3 lines of code there and some function signature. Where is iterator, man? Are you making joke?
Okay, so some of you, and including E, obviously this is like a black box, okay? So something is always a black box until you explore something and you know what is the advantage and what is the power of it. So let's look into one iterator and try to understand how it does the chaining operation. So as you can see, a filter error is a 1 iterator, okay? And in this entire iterator function, what we are going to do is basically we are looking for, so we have different errors, like info, debug, errors. So for this example, we took as an error, okay? So we are going to filter out a error log from your entire volume of logs coming in, and we are going to process this with a memory efficient. Okay, so as you can see, this filter errors takes a sequence and return a sequence. Okay, so what is the sequence type here? Sequence, so okay, always remember a sequence will return a Boolean value. Boolean value for to tell a callback, okay, I am done or not yet. And the input type for that can be anything, string, integer, whatever you want to pass. Okay, you can pass a struct also. But at the end, the sequence will return you a Boolean by saying, okay, I am done with this. Because the iterator not pre-process everything like, okay, so for example, you pass a slice and the entire thing will be processed in memory because that's how the slices are. But that's not the iterator. Iterator works on each element. Say for example, you have like 10 million logs coming in and you're looking for some logs. Imagine you have in the first 100 logs, you have error log and you want to look into those logs. You don't have to process 10 million logs, okay? So iterator help you in the memory efficient way. So in this, we have seen the iterator takes input and return a Boolean. And this is where the callback function happens. The yield here is just sugar-coated name, whatever you can give, but most of the languages provide iterator, inbuilt iterators. So they call like a yield, yielding the values. And as you see in the previous line, the signature that you see, a function string, Boolean, that's the exact function signature of the sequence, okay? So before iterator has been introduced in standard library, that's how it has been. So you can just remove the iter.sequence. So iter is basically what you import, okay? And you can remove that and write your own iterator function over there. So basically, you got it? So basically, we are returning the iter.sequence, okay? The yield function string, and it returns a Boolean. Next slide. Okay, ranging over sequence. So what is the intention of this function? So this function takes a sequence, okay? It's not like an entire slice. It takes a sequence and start working on the each of the logs. This is where the lazy evaluation starts. It's not, remember, this is not working on your entire slice. It's working on the first element. It's just that tiny bytes it gets. And also, it's a similar to ranging how you range over the channels also, okay? So we are in the stage of lazy evaluation. So what we are lazy evaluation doing? On one element, the first element, we are going to look for a rune here. You can do a string also, but take advantage of rune here. So we are looking for E, because that's where the E for the error comes in. And when we go to the next.
Wait a second. Hold on. I see that you're doing all this, but I still don't understand. In channels, I can quit at any time. I can close a channel. I can say that exit the go routine based on any condition. How are you going to do this for this?
All right, guys. So this is where the iterator shines. As we know, we are not dealing with any channels. These are just callback functions. The yield protocol here you see is basically a termination, like early termination. Say we are at the end of the slice, iterating an element of the last element or whatever that returns from there. So basically the yield protocol is basically, it's taking a log. What is a log here? Log is just a string. And what it returns, if we can look into the sequence, iter.sequence function signature, it takes a string here and returns a Boolean. So once we hit the false here, then we return here. No need to close a channel or clean up go routines, nothing. It's purely that's clean.
Show off. That's a show off, I would say.
That's not show off. You look into this, it's purely memory efficient. You don't have to process any large amount of data at once.
Okay. I think you can ask them. I don't think.
So what do you guys think about this approach? Have you guys seen the advantage of iterator, or at least sense of it? Like, imagine like your billions of records being loaded into memory, or just a single element from that memory, and do a lazy evaluation, whatever you want to do. It's a modern approach for processing your entire data by chunk. Let's raise the voice for iterators, whoever understand this, or understanding in the advantage. No one? Okay. At least raise a hand so that I can see. Looks like people are... Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we have quite people.
Nice. So, okay, I'll give it to iterators this one, but do you really think channels can be, I don't know, I'm not satisfied to be honest, but okay, it's your call.
Okay. So far, we are doing like a basic stuff and people are not getting interested. So let's level up, guys. So we saw how to process logs and let's level up for this round. We are going to, so how many times you write a sorting functions or use a inbuilt sorting? Like lot of in time, right? So this time we will introduce something amazing that you have never seen before. So far you're doing like inbuilt functions like, okay, slice dot sort and give the slice and get the values back. But let's utilize iterator this time and see how iterator performs and help you in lazy evaluation again. Look at this, a pure beauty and abstraction that you have. You basically pass a slice and iterate over it and do the lazy evaluation. How beautiful and elegant and abstraction, you do whatever you want to do in the lazy evaluation here.
Hey, do you all remember in starting he said he will drag me? Now
Yes.
I will drag his code.
Let's see.
See this big code. See this. Now, if I want to sort in Go, tell me how many lines do you think Go takes to sort an array or a slice? Anyone? How many lines? One? Two. That's the correct answer, man. It takes only one line to do the entire sorting. And you are saying iterator, etc., etc. Wait a second. I told you I will drag you. This slide, I've just done the benchmark for sorting using iterators and traditional way. This guy is chalking my memory out. It's around 57 memory allocation it does for sorting 10 million requests, and I'm taking only one memory allocation. Give me a cheer, guys, please. See, I told you, I'll drag you.
Looks like old people and traditional fans are still there. So I thought like, okay, people are like catch up the modern things. Okay, looks like benchmarks is like looking awesome for traditional, but remember guys, the lazy evaluation you cannot do with these things.
Wait a second, I will tell you why his iterator is taking this much problem. What he does is, he's boxing and unboxing each element in the name of lazy, what was it?
Lazy evaluation.
Okay, yeah, that. I am not interested in boxing and unboxing of it. It makes the application heavier. And in production, I don't want any heavy application to run or choke up my memory. He is using memory allocation like it's coming from his house. Come on. Okay. Anyway, so I think this round, I don't need to ask any one of you who wins this round.
No, hold on. Let's see. Still, we have like iterator fans here.
You still want
Can you
to
raise support, guys, for iterators?
Let's face the facts. Say T for traditional.
Oh, okay. Looks like you won the round.
I like it. I like it. Anyway, so I think we are going to conclude. I had like many rounds to drag him, but I thought, okay, this is a public forum. There's a limit to one person getting dragged.
Okay, guys. With a serious note, that we have seen a benchmark for both. When something comes new, you have to do a benchmark and see, okay, whether this fits into your code base, your performance, and all those things. So whatever we saw so far, use generics for reusability, but generics comes with the cost of efficiency and the speed, okay? And iterators for, as I said, lazy evaluation, but some people are not getting it, but try it out. If you are doing a lazy evaluation, it's really help you well because you don't have to load entire data into the memory and do the lazy evaluation for that.
I agree. Iterators are good for happy path, etc., etc. But see, in production, and even for a newbie who has joined the team, it is difficult to understand a fancy, I don't know, black box generic code at one go. Else we have to evolve ourselves to adapt to it. But what I would say is having traditional is always good when you need performance, at least now I would say. I am not going to stick with it unless until we come with a new version. But with performance, reliability, battleground tested, I need type switch, go routines, go loops, etc. for my production code. That's my take.
Yeah, that's why we have both.
Yeah. So when it comes to go routine, concurrency and explicit control we have.
And as I said, use iterator for lazy evaluation, early terminations, and generics for reusability. But always remember, there is associated risk with that, with the performance. It takes a hit with the performance.
Different tools.
For different jobs, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to us.